Hey everybody, it's Eddie Joe on Crypto, and let's get into it. So, looking at Venezuela, Venezuela has signed a deal. Now, this is interesting. They've signed a deal with China. And what the deal says is that they're going to develop economic zones and expand their technology, expand those zones, as well as modernize those areas, right? And I'm sitting back and I'm going, so that means China cut a check. Yes, China cut a check. So if China cut a check and now Venezuela is looking for everything, so it's not a monetary block. It is absolutely a political block, right? And the reason why I say so is because, you know, you've got China, who does have economic problems, Russia, who has economic problems. I think the strongest countries in that space are probably going to be Saudi Arabia and India. That said, during the G20 Summit, they said, well, the Financial Stability Board and the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, made some recommendations, and they were given a nod by the G20 countries. However, the IMF does not like crypto, but India said to not want an outright ban on crypto, and that's what I find to be interesting. So you have these events going on in G20 Summit, and you have China making inroads with Venezuela in the United States backyard, no less, to join the BRICS nations. Now, I find all of this to be quite interesting. From a US dollar perspective, I don't think they're close to, unseating the US dollar. Are they on track? Sure. With regard to the number of countries that are involved and everything else like that. But they're already having problems with trying to figure out how those transactions would happen. I don't think it's going to be a single fiat that's going to, replace the US dollar. I just think that the US dollar is going to be removed as being the core backbone, right? So with that said, you still have Venezuela trying to join, and Venezuela not having a lot of money. They're just collecting money from China. So it's absolutely a political block. Can't call it anything else. Now, what you want to find out is to what end. That's what I'm paying attention to, because those are the things that sway the global economy and eventually affect local economies. So I'm kind of paying attention to that. Something else that came out with the idea of India saying, no, we don't want to ban crypto. They seem to still be chasing crypto companies out of the country. Coinbase is looking to cease trading operations in India. That's a major problem. Now, that could be because they already have, crypto exchanges that are there, that are already doing the job, and it's hard to break into the market. I don't know about that. So I'm kind of paying attention to all those different things. What else am I paying attention to? Let's see. Polygon. Haven't heard any good news out of Polygon in a little bit since the ZK EVM and all that good stuff. But now they're teasing that there's going to be news coming out of this new event, not new event, but this event coming up in Singapore. It's the Stablecoin Summit. And that Stablecoin Summit is probably going to see some really big news, especially since Polygon is saying there's going to be some really big news. I would suspect that it's going to be about ZK EVM. I would suspect that it's going to be specifically about being involved in emerging markets and how fast ZK EVM scales and moves and handles transactions. Why? Because I think that's going to enter the retail space in a major fashion. That's what I'm thinking. So I want to pay attention to that because, Polygon is one of the coins that we accept on our hosting platform, Rebel Reach. So, of course, we have Ethereum, Bitcoin. I mean, come on, that's of course. But our third and fourth most popular, arguably, XRP and Polygon, because they move fast. I mean, you can make a transfer almost credit card fast. So, and that's the end of the transaction. The transaction happens like this, and that's it. It's over. There's no, sure, we'll act like you paid for it now. We'll bill you later. The store gets it later. So I'm expecting a lot from Polygon with their news coming up. A lot, a lot. Now, for a while, I've been saying that it's highly possible that we could see Gary Gensler lose his job. And I think that it really is 2024, right? And Brian Armstrong agrees, Coinbase CEO. I think there are a lot of people that are expecting change at the SEC, right? The SEC has just been making bad moves left and right with regard to crypto. And that's been a really sore point in the United States, because with all of those bad moves, it just keeps pointing out that we need regulation in this country. And I have to tell you, if we're waiting for everything that's going on in the G20 Summit, I'm disappointed. Why are we following? See what I mean? Why would the United States be following? Why would we be waiting for the rest of the world to make a decision? We should be leading the rest of the world in that decision-making process. But we can't get our act together. And Gary Gensler is not helping. And along with Gary Gensler, I would probably say Elizabeth, what's her name? Because Elizabeth Warren. Because they're just not making the right decisions. And if they're working together to disrupt crypto, they're not doing a good job. They did it for a little while, but all they've done is prove the resilience of crypto. Straight up. That's what I'm looking at. Then you have FTX. FTX is panicking a lot of people because they're looking to actually file paperwork. It's being reported that they're looking to file paperwork so that they can liquidate about $3.4 billion worth of crypto before you get your panties in a wad. The difference is that the bulk of the coins that they're probably going to be looking at are Solana and FTT, and most likely FTT, right? I highly doubt, I'm not going to say that none of that is going to come across public exchanges, but I highly doubt that the bulk of it is going to come across public exchanges. Why is that? Because right now it's valued at 3.4 billion. If you were to dump 3.4 billion, it's not going to be 3.4 billion because you will tank that market. You'll tank that coin. So I think that a lot of those transactions will be OTC transactions. Straight up. I really do. And those coins are all accounted for, all that good stuff. So I don't see what the problem is. But that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting these to not be public transactions. I think, especially for Solana. FTT could be public. I mean, because why would you want it? But Solana, I'm expecting with Solana's popularity that a lot of it would be OTC transactions, meaning that the market wouldn't even fluctuate. The market will fluctuate more over the news than it will over the action. That's what I'm suspecting. Now, normally we would get into the numbers, but we're moving so sideways that I'm not even going to bother. I'll get into the numbers tomorrow, and the reason why is because with all the news coming out today and everything that's happening today, that's what I would expect. Oh, one more piece of news. Ripple is shoring up their licensing, and they did it through the purchase of, who is it? Fortress Trust. Had to look at my notes. That's actually a really big deal. And one of the reasons why is because Fortress Trust comes with technology and they come with licensing. Feel me? Now, something else that I'm paying attention to is the fact that not only did they buy Fortress Trust, but that is the second payment or second purchase in less than 4 months. I told you back in May 18th, that they bought Medico. Today's September 11th. So in just under 4 months, 2 major purchases. They're making moves, and they're making big moves. Pay attention. Anyway, this is Eddie Joe in Crypto. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you don't, let me know what I'm doing wrong. Let me know what I'm doing right, and let me see if I can make some adjustments. Anyway, you have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.